This is Lawrence Romanosky from Calgary, Canada, and I'm going to do a video here on a collection of 5 vehicles and just do a quick assessment before it starts to hail on me here. So this is a 1993 Land Rover Defender 110 NAS, one of 500. This is a California car. 500 came to Canada, or 500 came to the US, and 25 came to Canada. So what I'm looking for on this is corrosion. You can see they got corrosion in the hinges, but they did that when they were brand new. We've got aluminum pieces, and we've got steel pieces, and then we've got rust on the steel pieces that can happen. You can see the hinge there. And then we also have electrolytic corrosion, which can happen between the aluminum. So that's what I'm looking for here, is evidence of rust at the bottom of the doors where the aluminum skin meets the steel frame. And you can see a little bit there, but actually not too bad. Generally, this car has, I think, 121,000 miles on it. It looks like just a decent used Land Rover. Very rare car, very desirable car. They came with AC and power steering and a Range Rover engine, 3.9 liter engine, and then only for 1 year. So it actually looks pretty decent. With wear commensurate with the mileage on the car. It needs a second gear synchro. The AC doesn't work. It didn't work that well when it was new anyway. It was kind of a bodge from the factory. We've had the engine rebuilt and painted front fenders, but actually it's a tidy, decent truck. I don't see any real glaring faults. Most importantly, these areas in the frame and the rear cross member where the car can rust because it's steel, all of this stuff looks very solid with factory finishes on it. So I'm not too worried about this car. You can freshen the interior, and you can rebuild the gearbox, and it's got a long life ahead of it. Very desirable model, and nothing scary with that car that I can see. Next car, 1997 993 Cabriolet. It's a manual car. This one, I guess we have a new top with it. Not sure about the age of these tires. What are they here? Nitto tires. They look old, and they're not the right pin-rated tires. So that's one thing. We have, I think, just a car. It's just an average used Porsche. There's nothing glaringly wrong with it. We did the paint meter. And it looks like it's had the front fenders resprayed. Interior doesn't look dyed. The dash isn't cracked. It's just kind of it just could use a really good clean and a detail and so forth. And there's nothing about it that's particularly scary. We've got a new top for it. Door panels are okay. I guess we have one little crack there that I didn't notice. We've got some marks on the bolster. And generally throughout we have wear commensurate with 82,000 kilometers. And this wasn't, it needs a new windshield. It wasn't a pampered car, just an ordinary car. Front tray, if we go in here, there's some evidence. I don't know if you can see this here. Try to get that in the fender. There's some evidence of some overspray on some of these pieces. There you go. It doesn't look like it's had new fenders. There's no evidence. There's no really sloppy workmanship that I can see in here. There's a sticker for it. It looks okay. So I think it's just there's some pitting on the windscreen, pitting on the glass. There is some 3M on the front of the car that's now aging. So I think it just needs to get cleaned up. Major service. New windscreen, new top, detailed, leather moisturized. Just sort of giving some a little bit of attention. But doesn't appear to me to be a bad car, just an average car. Okay, so this one, 72 911T, it would have had the MFI mechanical fuel injection retrofitted to Weber's. We paint metered the car. The body shell looks pretty good. There's not too much Bondo in the car. We have even paint depth around the car. It doesn't look like there's any evidence of any corrosion to speak of. The body shell looks decent. This is a 72 car with the oil flap right there. The paint, you can see that there is masking marks, and you can see the weather stripping. Window rubbers are eaten away, and there's a couple different colors there. There was red once, and just okay. Some slight pitting in the chrome, not too bad. A close examination, you can see some orange peel, some marks, some pits, some sand in it. It's just an okay paint job. It's nothing, it's not a concours paint job. It's a great color, signal yellow. But there's a close examination from a foot away, reveals, numerous paint flaws, small, but they're there throughout. So this is a kind of a 10-foot paint job. The car looks nice, presents well. It's wearing wider than factory wheels. So just an okay driver quality paint job. The interior is kind of in rough shape. We got parts hanging off of it. We've got a dash pad that's hiding, I don't know what, presumably cracked dash. We have cracks throughout. We have a headliner that's coming off and needs work. The seat, not sure what's going on with these seats. It doesn't look like the correct vinyl. Door pockets like ripped apart. Mats are bare, so the interior of this car definitely needs some love. It's just an original. Now what happens though is a lot of these cars, if they're from hot climates, they're not rusty, but the interior dries up and cracks. And so I'd rather have an unrusty car and a cracked up interior than a fresh interior and a rusty car. It's a lot easier to fix the interior. Okay, so this one, to make it a show car or a number 1 or a number 2 car, you have to take it apart, paint it, take the interior out, redo the interior. Mechanically, I haven't done a thorough mechanical assessment, but it looks okay, starts okay, drives okay from what I can see, and just call this a driver 911T. Which would be an entry-level long nose Porsche. Okay, next car, 356. This is a 61. This is a Karmann hardtop. So this is the Cabriolet body with the hardtop welded on. In period, people kind of didn't like it because they thought it looked a little bit funny, but it's got lots of period charm, and it's a nice car and it's a nice color. We paint metered it, and it's generally pretty good, but we do have some Bondo in some of the lower fenders and the base of the windscreen. I don't know how much exactly. Nothing really horrible, but there is some filler in those areas, which you'd expect from an older restoration from a 356. Okay, the trim and bright work is good to fair. Weather stripping looks new. It's just again an okay paint job. Shut lines are just okay. They're just okay. They wouldn't have looked like that from the factory, but there's nothing that stands out as a bodge or any real poor workmanship. It's just an okay paint job done from a time when the cars weren't worth that much money. Again, there's nothing glaring that stands out. But again, close examination reveals numerous flaws, thick paint, flaws in the paint, inconsistent gaps. Some of the trim is nice, some of the trim is aged. The door handle's worn. Inside the car, it looks decent. Unmodified from what I can see. It's got the square weave carpet, and You know, it's got some, looks like there's been some welding in this area where there are instruments cut in it. Instruments do look nice. Steering wheel looks nice. Carpets look nice. Seats, good cushions. It looks okay. Headliner's nice. You know, so all looks pretty good in the interior. Starts well, runs well. You know, a decent enough job in the interior. So this car, you know, with trim, some rubbers, and some more attention to panel gaps and new paint, would really be brought up quite nice. You know, it's just an average quality paint job with the car. Okay. The last one is this BMW 3.0 CS. This isn't the I. This is the 2.8 liter. It's carbureted. It was given a really well done paint job. It's kind of, you know, you may not appreciate the color, which is a Bordeaux with a metallic in it, which wasn't an original color. And the customer or the client does have the original wheels, but the paint job looks good, and the bright work looks good. You know, it's a lovely thing, lovely interior, some cracking in the wood, but just a very, you know, looks like whoever did it, looks like he spent a lot of time and care getting things right and so on the car. We paint metered it, and it all has consistent depth. It's just the color that is a little bit of a strange color on this car. Otherwise, it's actually a good car. So that's my really quick videos on these cars, and I guess I'm just worried it's going to start raining and hailing, so we're gonna wrap it up. But thanks for viewing, and you know, I would say this is a neat. Some guys just put together kind of a neat group of cars. You know, for you know, to drive and have fun with, and they're not concourse cars, but they're all kind of cool cars. Okay, thank you very much, Lawrence Romanosky, Calgary, Canada.